better.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me how that makes you feel.
Eels. Therapy dupe. Hi, podcast besties.
Hi, besties.
Oh, you were actually ready. I was just trying to be an asshole.
Oh, well, I just was talking.
Anyways, we're today.
Welcome to episode 14 of Isn't That Odd podcast.
Is it?
And all things
Spooky Pod.
Yeah.
Hosted by us.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Breana.
Anyway, Paul just came back from vacation. I haven't seen him in literally a week. I saw him a week ago today, but I feel like I haven't seen him in so long, so we're just like...
We're having the time of our life.
Yeah,
right
we're a mess.
And I'm running off of 5 hours of sleep. I went to bed...
Yeah, did you sleep on the airplane?
No.
No.
So the good thing about having a late flight yesterday...
Is that what they call a red eye, or is red eye overnight?
No, red eye's overnight. But I did a later flight, aka like afternoon, because that way we'd be able to sleep the leading up to it, which we did, so it felt nice. The bad part is we sprung forward 3 hours, so...
That would piss me off.
I was up until 4 a.m. last night.
You went to bed at 4 a.m.?
Yeah. I couldn't sleep. I was in bed, he was knocked out, he was snoring, and I was just like...
I would have taken anything. I would have taken NyQuil. I would have taken Benadryl.
I had melatonin and I took it
Melatonin's
down.
For pussies. You should have taken NyQuil, or you should have taken Benadryl or something.
Thing.
No, it's not. I feel like the other ones are so much more intense. Melatonin puts you to sleep nicely. Benadryl, you're unconscious. You can't be tired if you're unconscious.
I do have Benadryl.
Yeah, and you just didn't take it.
Huh?
You just didn't take it.
No. Well, then I had to get out of bed. I was comfy.
Clearly not if you weren't sleeping.
I can be comfy, but that doesn't mean I have to sleep.
I don't think that's valid.
Huh?
Anyway, we just got off a tangent already.
I don't understand. No.
What's your category today?
How can you not... That doesn't make... You can be comfy in bed... I don't understand.
If I'm trying to go to sleep at night and I can't sleep...
Okay.
But I'm comfy, I'm gonna do everything I can to go to sleep. So I would have gotten up and gotten it. Because if you're just comfy in bed and you can't sleep, that's infuriating. You're gonna look at me and you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong?
Oh,
am I wrong?
No, I couldn't find my notes at first, and I was like, this episode's going to be canceled, because... I was like, did I have a fever dream where I didn't do notes?
Paul actually loves saying that he's going to cancel for, the dumbest things.
That's not dumb. You legitimately have to cancel the episode.
No, because we have another episode we could have recorded and just swap the places.
Yeah, but then we only do one.
I mean, one would still come out. It's fine. Anyway, what's your category today? Mine is paranormal. What is yours? Is it true crime? Is it conspiracy? No, it's true crime, right? We had this conversation earlier. Stop.
Are you done? I don't know. You just kept talking, so I just let you go.
Because you just kept staring at me. It's making me...
Me. Yeah. So my story today is true crime. And you have paranormal. Ooh.
That spooky, mama.
It's a spooky ghost.
Oh. Oh, God.
And you have the pleasure of going first.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't have to start yet.
I forgot.
I'm sorry?
That's how Athena used to say, forgot. Now she's old enough where she talks normal, but when she was a toddler and she couldn't really talk, she would say, oh, I forgot.
Oh.
We used to do this.
You said it purposely. I thought my brain just had a meltdown.
I do that often. Sometimes when I say phone, I say cone, because Athena couldn't say phone.
Oh, my God. I almost forgot.
All right.
I know I'm not supposed to do this anymore, but I'm going to give a shout out today. I just remembered.
I love how you yell at me about giving shout outs, and now you're giving shout outs.
Yeah, so we talked about this before. I can give shout outs and you can stand people, but we can't.
I can do whatever I want. This is our podcast. We make the rules.
I know.
No. Back up. I make the rules. You follow them, actually.
Wait a minute.
Because if you made the rules, we wouldn't have a podcast anymore. You'd be like, I don't feel like recording today. So I make the rules and you follow them.
I'm just the face of the podcast.
Basically.
Anyways, we have a super fan. And I told you about this.
Oh, yeah.
And so I want to give him a shout out because that's really cool.
Yeah, no,
someone that really genuinely enjoys our podcast. And I don't know why.
That's not Noor, shockingly, because Noor's a super fan too.
Yeah. Noor, we've taken kind of on our crew unofficially.
Yeah.
So
unpaid.
They're a crew member.
Yeah.
voluntarily.
Yeah.
Like
really voluntarily, told me that they were going to be a crew member, and I said, okay, I'm not going to pay you.
Yeah, superfan turned to
unpaid
crew member.
Yeah.
But no, we have another superfan.
I love that for us.
Crazy.
What is...
So much so that I gave my first autograph.
Are we allowed to say their name?
Yeah.
Just their first name?
Yeah. So, hi, Casey. Thanks for listening.
Hi, Casey.
Thanks for being our number one fan.
Thanks for being our number one podcast bestie.
Yeah.
It's insane to me that you actually enjoy this whole thing we have going on here. It's crazy.
The fact people still listen is crazy.
I know. Well,
I probably would have stopped after my meltdown in episode 7.
See, the thing for me is, though, I feel like I was never doing this for people to listen to it. I was kind of just doing it for us to do a thing together because, like, I don't know. We're besties now. I love you.
Yeah, and we kiki.
And yeah, so I was like, oh, this is fun, to record it. But the fact that people enjoy it now and, like, people want more of it, I'm like, dude, we've only been doing this for, like, what, 3 months now? Not even?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So we've moved past from doing it. I mean, we still do it for us, but now we're doing it for you.
Which is crazy. It's so soon. I didn't expect it to get like this until at least like a year from now. I thought we were just going to be doing it for shits and gigs for a while.
Yeah, and
still is for shits and gigs, obviously, because I really am going to do it regardless, but it's just crazy to me.
The fact that we have a lot of handfuls of people that
actually enjoy it.
Actually,
especially people that I went to.
We have a super fan.
Even people that I went to high school with, like, they enjoy it too. And like, I've gotten like messages from people who I've gone to high school with, like, saying how much they like it. I'm just like, yikes! I hate being perceived.
I feel like every time I go into some sort of setting now, whether friends or family, someone always brings up the podcast, and I'm like,
no, literally me.
Like we went out for Zach's birthday,
and you met
then that's when I gave my signature out to Casey.
Nora does that all the time. Nora just gives the podcast out to people, like, when we're at work. I'm, like, at work. And I'm just like, yeah. I swear a lot, though. Just know that when you listen
What if we made business cards and we just slipped them in bags?
I want to make business cards. I also want to make, I already told you this, but, like, little bumper stickers to put on the car. I thought that'd be cute. If we had, like, the Spotify... like thing. I don't know what it's called. In my car. That'd be really cool. I was thinking about getting like little Instagram ones where it's like Instagram logo and like ads.
Yeah, so I mean, if that's something you guys want,
yeah, true. To let me know, hit us up, and then
we could start making small little merch.
Yeah, I do want to start making merch. I want to start making like stickers and stuff like that. I think that'd be really cool. We say so much.
Tap out at stickers right now. There's no way you're gonna see me find a way to produce a bunch of sweaters and t-shirts. Like, this is not happening.
Oh yeah, no, of course. I'm saying, like, in general, I want to do that. I want to make stuff. Like, I just want to make merch. At first, I remember before I was like, I don't want to fucking do that because I didn't want to design it. But now, think about all the funny, dumb shit that we say. I would love to walk around with, like, a shirt that just has, like, the dumbest things we've said. I can't even think of something stupid that we've said.
Maybe we can just have exclusive shirts for you and I.
Yeah. I want a shirt that says, "You're a corn dog," throwback to episode 13.
Wait, before you do that...
Or wait, insert John Cena music here.
Before we do that merch, I want my sweater.
So I have a million hobbies, including this podcast. And for Christmas, I decided to, like, embroider everybody's sweatshirts because I thought it was going to be really cute and, like, homemade and, like, quirky and, like, put my love into it. And so I made, like, 15 of them and I capped out. And then I was supposed to make Paul 2 of them. I made everybody else's but Paul's.
I didn't know that. You made everyone else's but mine?
Yeah. Because yours were the most complex. That's why.
That's low-key homophobic.
It's really not. It's not homophobic because I didn't want to half-ass it, and that's why I stopped. I actually just picked it up the other day, and I started doing it again.
Oh, did you actually?
Yeah, so now that you're talking shit about it, I'm going to stop doing it.
No, wait, I'm kidding. I want it before this Halloween.
Before the what?
I want it before Halloween.
Oh, you'll get it before Halloween.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's all you have to worry about. You'll get it before Halloween.
Great. I'll see it October 30th.
Catch me handing it to you on Halloween.
No, you said before.
Oh, okay.
So it has to be October 30th.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And you're
before, like, this Halloween or next Halloween?
This coming.
Oh. Catch me give it to you November 1st for next Halloween.
Damn.
That'd be funny. No, yeah, but I'll give it to you before then.
Sad.
That's funny.
Anyways, yeah, if you want merch, let us know.
Yeah. Give us ideas. Our DMs and emails are open. Speaking of emails, we keep getting emails from, like, companies, podcasting companies, who are like, let us help you with like editing and stuff like that. And it's so funny because they're all like woman-based companies. And I already told you this, how I think it's funny. That's like my co-host is a man. And they're like, you're a woman-based company podcast. I'm like, am I? No, we're not.
Half woman, half gay. So, I mean, close enough.
What did you call it? What is it? LBGT? What is it? Say it.
Libidiqua?
That, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Ligibidiqua.
Ligibidiqua.
Yeah. I used to say Alphabet Mafia, but I feel like...
I know. Remember when I came out as bisexual and you were like, go tell Melissa you're in the Alphabet Mafia? And I walked up to her and she said, you're in the what?
Wait, you did? I don't remember that.
You said, go tell Melissa. I walked up to her. I said, hey, Melissa, I'm part of the Alphabet Mafia. She said, the what? I said, the Alphabet Mafia. I don't know. Paul said it. And then she said, okay.
I can't believe that happened.
I can't believe you set me up like that.
I can't believe you listened to me. Oh, that was early days. So you had...
That's when I just thought that you were a nice person.
Huh? That's changed?
We have learned that you're a sassy queen.
We'll stop there. So, yeah, it's your turn. The floor is yours. I'm not... I can't get in trouble. Go ahead.
Are you crying?
Yeah.
Before I forget, circling back to like making merch and stuff like that, I'm really thinking about making a Patreon soon.
Oh yeah, we have a bunch of bloopers.
We have a bunch of bloopers, and then when Stacia was here, we were like brainstorming ideas for like doing bonus episodes that consisted of us just like, instead of having like the structure of this,
like,
I guess,
structure and scripts, and
if this is structured, which I don't know if it is,
very loosely structured.
We usually scream into the microphone for an hour straight. But we were just gonna make bonus episodes where we just shoot the shit, and that'd be fun. So maybe we'll make a Patreon.
It's just kind of like off topic, just whatever comes to mind. It's just bickering back and forth. There's not going to be any sort of anything to it.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna. If we do make a Patreon, it's probably only going to be for like $1 because we obviously don't have it.
Maybe $2. That way, we're going to do it for $2, so I get $1 and Breana gets $1.
That's a whole $1.
That's a whole $1. You know, I can get for $1.
A nickel.
Not even anything at the Dollar Tree.
You can get a nickel.
$1.25
You can get a nickel for $1. You can get a whole nickel. A few of them, actually, handful of them.
Huh?
What are you confused about?
You know how else you can get a nickel?
I got $1. I got $1. I got it. Wait, how else can you get a nickel?
By tickling a pickle. And with that,
anyway,
we're gonna go into the story.
Let us know if you want a Patreon.
Yeah, call us, beep us if you want to reach us.
If you want to page me, it's okay.
Whenever you need me, baby.
Call me, beat me.
If you want to reach me. No.
If you want to reach me.
Just go to your fucking story.
You ready?
Ready.
Okay. So my sources for today's...
Ugh.
Fuck you. My sources for today's thing are discovery.com. Okay. Back up. This story takes place in Mexico. Paul just heard me trying to do the pronunciations on Google Translate. I'm not a real Hispanic, people. I don't speak Spanish. I'm going to try my best. Okay.
España.
So my sources are discovery.com, paranormalwitness.fandom.com, and thedollisland.com. That's what we're going to talk about today. It's in Spanish. I don't know how to pronounce it in Spanish, so...
I wonder if this is what I'm thinking it is. There's 2 stories based in Mexico that I was looking at and wanted to do, so I'm wondering if you did one.
Before I start today, I wanted to give a shout out to Noor, our unpaid research assistant, for this recommendation. I'm not even sure why I picked this off the recommendation sheet, because we all know that I fucking hate dolls. I hate them so much. But here we are. So today, we're going to be talking about the creepy and absolutely terrifying Doll Island. I'm going to attempt to pronounce this. La Isla de las Muñecas, I think is how you say that. I'm not sure. The last part is the...
La Isla de las...
Right?
I have no idea the last word. Nope.
Yeah, no, I got the...
try. You Google translated.
I did.
You Google translate. What did it say?
I don't know.
Oh.
it said it too fast. But I did try though, so it's all that matters. Paul, if you can hear him typing away, he's doing it right now.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Shut up.
Shut up, Giuseppe. Mozzarella.
Mozzarella.
Muñeca. 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 Muñeca.
Is that with the little squiggly pronunciation thing?
It's Muñeca.
Is that with the little squiggly pronunciation thing?
Yeah.
Regardless, we're going to be talking about that. And we're going to be talking about another spooky little doll, because apparently today I really hate myself.
Annabelle.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, do I have your attention?
Do I have your attention?
Do I have your attention?
Yes.
So this creepy little island is just south of Mexico City, and it's between two canals, and again, I don't know how to pronounce this name, so I'm not going to say it. It's what is called Chimpata, which is basically just like a man-made island. So this island has a really sad origin story / legend that goes along with the island, and basically this is the story that I'm going to tell you. So Don Julian Santana Breana, I believe is how you pronounce his name, was the caretaker of this island.
Wow.
Sometime in the shut the fuck up. Sometime in the mid 20th century, he left his wife and family to sequester himself on this island.
Damn.
Sidebar. Last night when Kiwan was listening to the podcast, he said that I tell you to shut the fuck up too many times, so this is out to you, Kiwan.
Thank you, Kiwan.
Paul, shut the fuck up.
Thanks, Kiwan.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Oh.
I'm just kidding, I love you. His reasonings for doing so are not exactly clear, but it soon became very obvious that he was not completely sane. Like, he had some shit going on up in his brain.
Me too.
Same, that's why I'm in therapy. I'll be on med soon. Julian ended up finding a little girl who drowned in the lake that's on the island. And she drowned under mysterious circumstances. There's really no like reason for why she drowned or what happened or anything like that. So shortly after, Julian saw a floating doll coming down the canal. Shut the fuck up.
I'm like your background vocals.
No, we don't need an echo. We had that for 2 episodes last time. 2 fucking episodes worth of echo.
Yeah, for what it's worth.
For what it's worth, it's the
Sorry
mic.
about that.
Yeah, it's the mic. And I don't know why it has an echo setting on the first place. It doesn't make sense. But we're taking the button off because the mic itself is good. But it's when a fucking knob gets hit. So we're just taking the knobs off.
It's always the knobs.
It's going to be knobless.
Hob knockers.
Hob knockers. So shortly after, Julian saw a doll floating down the canals that are on the either sides of the island.
Floating.
He assumed that the doll belonged to the girl because that wouldn't be too far-fetched, obviously, if you just found a dead girl.
Do you know what happens when you assume?
What happens?
I don't know. You're going to tell me.
I don't know if I want to do this anymore.
You make an ass out of you and me.
What the fuck? Oh, if you make assumptions. I was like, what does that mean? I was like, how does me not want to do this make an ass out of us? Oh, whatever. Paul's being fucking annoying. He then picked up the doll and he hung the doll on the tree. And he did this as a way to show respect and support for the young girl, like her spirit, obviously, because she died there. And so I'm not sure if this like made her angry or if she was just simply unhappy because of her untimely death, but it's reported that the spirit of the young girl started haunting Julian. And so he hung up more dolls to appease her. And he soon realized that the dolls themselves were possessed by other spirits of other dead girls. And so he hung more. And more. And more. And more.
So I'm burning down that tree.
It's all over the island.
Uh-oh.
They're everywhere, not just on the tree. They're everywhere.
So just burn the island. Got it.
Some he would hang them whole, like whole dolls. Others he would hang in various states of disarray. Some are headless. Some don't have torsos. Some are just taken apart. He's got
For
some
what
legs
reason?
to appease the spirits of these dead girls. I don't know. This is what he did. So according to those close to him, like his family, quote, it was as if Julian was driven by some unseen force that completely changed him, end quote. My opinion, possibly, is because he was extremely traumatized by not being able to save the young girl's life when he found her, like, drowned.
Mm-hmm.
And most people actually don't even believe that the girl actually existed. More that, Julian made her up in his solitude on the island because, again, he is not completely 100% sane.
And so he made up someone, but that someone just so happened he just killed off right away.
So he is not sane because he's alone and he's not, all of his marbles are not there.
Right.
And so he just made her up because it's all dude, you know, I said like 5 times now. And then he just killed her off. And so he kind of like is rationalizing this girl that he made up, quote, and is rationalizing the compulsiveness to put up these dolls by this girl's death. Basically, is the point that they're trying to make.
Imagine having an imaginary friend and you just went and like killed them. That's what
they were already dead.
That's
It's not like she was alive and then she was dead. Like he found her dead and he tried to save her.
Oh, I thought you said he made her and then just...
No, so they think that he imagined that he found somebody dead because he tried to save her after he found her. But like he found her, rolled her over, tried to save her, but she was already dead. So I think he was traumatized by that. If the girl is real, because obviously again we don't know. So if the girl is real, I think that he was traumatized by trying to save her after. So
they essentially just never recovered a little girl's body.
No.
Interesting.
And he doesn't say what he did with the body. Nonetheless, though, Julian collected dolls and hung them on the island for 50 years. But unfortunately, he did drown in a lake in 2001, and he was found in the exact same spot that he claims that he found the young girl. So that's what's kind of crazy, is that if for whatever reason she was not real, that means he like basically like predicted his own death. Unless he planned to drown himself that way.
I was about to say, I feel like if anything, he probably... Wait, I might have missed this part. I'm sorry if I did.
You probably did because you were just fucking, blacking out.
Why did he go to the island?
There's no reason.
Specific reason?
There was no reason. That's what I said in the beginning, that he just decided to.
It was just like, bye.
And it became prevalent that he like just decided to, and like his reasonings wouldn't have been sound because he was not all there in the head.
Got it.
Yeah. So all the paranormal experiences reported on the island are the same. People report seeing dolls, heads move when you walk past them, or from like across the island. If you're like looking across, you see the heads move, you see the mouths move, or you just see the eyes following you as you walk. So me personally, I wouldn't stand for that. I would.
You just wouldn't see me going on this island.
I was gonna say that, and then I was also gonna say you'd see me end my solo life right then and there. But I feel like I could remove that situation if I
just not going.
Yeah.
Why would you go?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
Like just like me yesterday when I said that we need to go on a cruise because we need a month-long vacation. You're like, if you catch me on a cruise, you never would. Like me with the Doll Island, you'll never catch me on there. Never. It is also.
It's crazy you want to spend a month on a cruise.
I just want a month-long vacation. I feel like cruises are very long. It's like the perfect excuse.
Do you want to be on the cesspool of people for a whole month?
No, if I just like lie and say I'm going on a cruise, but I just take a month off.
I can get down with that.
I can get jiggy with it. I can't get jiggy with this shit.
That.
Ever seen that movie?
No. Wait, what movie?
I think it's Friday After Next.
Maybe.
Or it's next Friday. I think it's next Friday with Ice Cube.
Probably.
But yeah, couldn't be me. I will say, when I was doing my research for this, there's really not a lot of like content out about this, but there is like paranormal investigators that go to the island, and then like Ghost Adventures went there, and it's all the same stuff. Like people just report the dolls moving. They talk to the spirit of like Julian because his ghost is apparently on the island. So there's no like first-hand accounts of it. It's all just like paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
And so because of that, I decided, like I said earlier, that we're going to talk about another little ghosty, Dolly. Hate that. That is just going to make me want to die. You ready?
Sure.
Okay, what was that?
I gotta chill.
Oh.
It's a ghost.
He's going ghost. Did you watch Danny Phantom?
He's a phantom.
He's a phantom.
Honestly, as a cartoon?
Wait, what?
Yep.
No, what did you say?
Nope.
No, I wasn't listening.
I said, honestly, as a cartoon?
Oh, you're saying like he's hot.
Yeah. This is also when I was younger, so it was legal. Like, I'm not saying that, but...
I don't think it'd be illegal to find a cartoon attractive.
If they're underage.
That's
weird.
It's a cartoon.
But that's weird.
Okay. All right.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Anyway.
If I found, like, Bob from Bob's Burgers hot, like...
If you find Bob from Bob's Burgers hot...
I don't.
We need to have a conversation, and I'm going to tell your therapist. No.
No, that was just the first person I thought of that was, like, an older...
Oh. I don't want to talk about...
I guess I could have said, like, Jimmy Pesto. It would have been more...
That's even worse. I'm moving on. So this next
Between
doll...
the two...
So this next doll...
Between the two of them...
You choose neither.
If I had to choose...
don't have to choose, and that's the issue. Anyway.
That's the poll.
So this next
That's
doll...
the poll for this episode.
Okay, the next doll that we're
Jimmy
going to...
Pesto or Bob? See, because
This is what I mean. Like, why do people like this?
Because then it would be...
This is exactly what I mean.
Because then it would be weird if you said you found Gene attractive.
He's a child.
Exactly.
But
Like Danny Phantom.
He's like a child. Like, I'm pretty
Like
sure
Danny
he's...
Danny Phantom's
Isn't
probably
he like a high
teen.
schooler?
Yeah, that's a child.
I know that.
Huh? You just...
It's me right now. I don't want to have this
I need to just move on.
Yeah, you do.
Keep going.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm crying again.
We're done.
You're done.
This next doll, if you're interested, the story is told on season 4, episode 4 of the show Paranormal Witness. I got this portion of my story strictly from Nora. Shout out to you, Nora. Thank you. Anyway.
Welcome.
So we're going to leave Mexico. And now we're going to take a little trip.
On our favorite rocket ship.
Zooming through the sky. Little Einsteins. Climb aboard. Get ready to explore. I just hit the whip and the nay-nay flawlessly, if you're wondering. Did I ever tell you about that time? Hi, Mom. I was on the phone with my mom. And she hit the whip on the phone, but she hit the whip with the hand that the phone was in, and so I kept looking at the ground, and I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm whipping. I hung up. I just hung up the phone.
I would probably do this. I'd get overwhelmed.
And then she called me back. It was like, why'd you hang up? And I was like, why'd you do that?
Honestly, valid.
It is valid. Okay, anyway. So now we're going to take a little trip to West Haven, Connecticut, so it's a little bit closer to us. And we're going to talk about a birthday gift that went as bad as it possibly could have. Giving birthday gifts is probably like one of the hardest things people do because you have to find something that fits the person. Like, not everybody likes the same stuff. But this is a perfect example of why you should not be giving fucking dolls as birthday gifts. Please and thank you. Fuck dolls. Thank you.
Facts. No cap.
So Linda and Jerry Platt threw their youngest daughter, Heather, a party for her 6th birthday. Heather's aunt, is it aunt or aunt?
Aunt.
Heather's aunt, Robin. Heather's aunt Robin decided that she was going to bring her, quote, something very special that she made for Heather herself. That special something just happened to be a giant, a life-size, if you would, doll that looks just like Heather. And the doll's name was Suzy Doll.
Ugh.
We had a conversation one time about how much I hate life-size things, right?
No.
That might have been Stacia. That's why I made that joke. I thought it was you. It was Stacia. Oh, anyway. So that night, like the night after the party, Linda was awakened by the sounds of animals growling. She obviously woke Jerry up, because what the fuck? And they looked out of their bedroom window together. And Linda sees what looks like a shadow coming down the street towards them. And as the shadow gets closer and closer, the growling gets louder and louder. But just as quickly as it started, it stops. The sounds and the shadow are both gone. So the next morning, the morning after the party, Heather takes her new doll and puts it on the couch. She then walks into the kitchen to get her breakfast, and when she comes back into the living room, Suzy Doll is now across the room, in the rocking chair. Not on the couch where she put her and walked away. She comes back and she's across the room. Now Heather, again, just turned 6, so being a young child, she thought that Suzy literally just got up and walked across the room to the new spot. And for whatever fucking reason, Heather just wanted this to be like, you know, their little secret. Because, like, friends have secrets and they're friends now. And, like, I could never. I would immediately be fucked up because, hello, what do you mean? I don't care how old you are.
Children are just as scary as ghosts.
Children are horrifying. I am the first to say it. I have no problem kicking a scary kid. If your kid scares me, it's getting kicked. 100%. Right across the room. Punt that bitch. Goodbye.
Maybe you should add that on your therapy agenda.
She'd be like, yeah, hi, Lauren. Scary kids, I want to kick them.
What does that mean?
Tell me how that makes you feel.
It's like dissecting your dreams.
So Lauren is a great therapist. She'll probably tell me to kick the kid. She's great. I love her. She's like my kind of therapist. She's like, I can't have like
She's like a girly's girl.
She's a girl's girl. I can't have one of those like touchy-feely therapists. She's very much like, oh, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah, what the fuck? I love it.
I hope that's how mine is.
I hope so too. Just stares at me. So those were the main events of obviously getting Suzy doll. I'm just going to start rapid firing the different events that happened to the family after getting the doll.
Sure.
So one morning, Jerry got home from his night shift and found the kitchen completely trashed. Assuming one of his girls did it, he went to their room and demanded the answer, but all 3 of his daughters swore that they had no part in it. Their parents obviously didn't believe them, because if it wasn't the parents, it had to be the girls that did it. Right?
Right.
He wasn't paying attention. He said, right.
Shut up, I was paying attention.
Later that
You said it was the girls that would have had to have done it.
Later that same day.
Right.
This is why I'm getting overwhelmed.
I was listening.
Later that same day.
Later that same day.
Jerry woke up from his nap to the sound of TV static. And sidebar, I don't know about you, but TV static makes me feel a lot of emotions, and none of them are good emotions.
I hate it.
The sound of it makes me want to throw up. The look of it makes my stomach feel weird, makes me want to throw up, makes my skin crawl.
It's truly the sound. I don't care about the looks of it. It's the sound of it. Anytime I accidentally would put it on, it just... Well,
for me personally, when like something falls asleep, like my arm or something, it feels like TV static. So when I see it, it feels like something's going to fall asleep, and that makes me uncomfortable.
It's funny because...
I love how you just moving in that chair is going to be all throughout that little thing I just said.
It's funny because sometimes when I'm on the pooper too long... my legs fall asleep. Anyone can relate.
Yeah. You gotta stand up a little bit, wiggle, sit back down.
But then it's that point where when you stand up, you're gonna get that feeling. Mm-hmm. So it's just like I'll prop myself like over the counter.
That's so funny.
And then just like stand there and not move because I just don't want to feel it.
Oh, see, you must sit there for a long time. It doesn't take me long to poop. I get in, get out. I'm in there for like maximum 5 minutes.
It's a problem because I scroll on TikTok and then I go on a TikTok hole and then I'm like, oh shoot, I'm actually on the pooper.
Not me, no. Oh. I want to get in, get out. I'm very efficient. Love that about myself.
I'm not. Not here, not at work. I'm not efficient with that at all.
I'm very efficient.
It's a little bit of me time.
Anyway. Oh. So circling back, the TV static was on. So Jerry heads out to the living room and he finds heavy furniture stacked on the coffee table in the living room. Furniture that he noted was way too heavy for his 3 young girls to stack themselves. So obviously he's like, they did not do this. And so during this like realization of all this furniture stacked, he turns his head and he sees his youngest Heather sitting in the same rocking chair that Suzy doll put herself in, holding Suzy doll, staring at the TV, untuned, at the TV static. Like it's that fucking movie. What is that? The Ring, where they come out of the TV static?
Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking of the Poltergeist. But yeah, no, that's the Poltergeist.
I don't know, so I'm asking.
I'm pretty sure that's the Poltergeist. No,
regardless, she's staring at that.
Because the cover of it is... Shut up. Yeah, the cover of the Poltergeist is like a little child looking into TV static.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what she's doing. It's fucking creepy. Hate kids, kick them. Thinking logically, like our friend Paul here, Jerry assumed that someone must have a key to their house, and they must have broken in, and were just fucking with them. So he changed all the locks. And so he ends up telling his wife about this, and she's just like, whatever, like, that's whatever, someone's sneaking in, you change the locks, it's whatever. So things actually started bothering the siblings of Heather as well. So late one night, Heather's siblings, Lisa and Laura, woke up to the sound of children playing outside. Now, looking outside, Laura didn't see anything, but they could obviously still hear the kids out there. But they're clearly looking out the window. There's no kids, but they hear the kids.
And it's casually late at night. Yeah.
Yeah. And then so they just chose to ignore it. They were just like, whatever. And so Lisa tries going back to sleep, but couldn't. And as she's like laying there trying to sleep, she feels a coldness on her neck and whispering in her ear. Let me tell you right now, I would be done. I'd be gone. I would clock the fuck out permanently. No, thank you.
It would give me the tingles for sure.
Yeah, not in a good way either. So the next morning, Lisa woke up with handfuls of her own hair in her hands. Handfuls. She had a patch of hair missing that was a perfect circle in the back of her head. And she insisted to her parents that she did not do it. She was even taken to a specialist, and the specialist determined that Lisa had pulled her own hair out while she was sleeping. And she just did not remember it. Fuck that. You have any thoughts about that? Nothing?
Huh?
Fuck that. Another time, the family was sitting at dinner, and Heather suddenly blurted out, quote, "Bad things are going to happen in this house." And the whole family looked at her and was like, what the fuck? But Lisa just happened to already be looking at Heather, and she noticed that Heather's lips did not move at all while she was talking, though they all heard her voice. Like a ventriloquist dummy. Is that how you say it? Ventriloquist?
Ventriloquist.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah, thank you.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm a valley girl.
Thank you.
Thank you. So then another afternoon, Lisa was walking into her room to get her roller skates, because, she's a child, and she stopped dead in her tracks when she saw a Suzy doll in the room. She already was creeped out by this doll, for obvious reasons. Everybody was. And so she decided not to go into her room, and she decided to just ask her mom for help finding her roller skates. As kids do. They're just like, my mom will find it. And so her mom was like, go back to your room and check in your room. And so she goes back to her room, but when she returned, Suzy doll was not there. And mind you, it's just Lisa and her mom home at this point. So Lisa hears a noise coming from the bathroom, and she decides to open the door to investigate.
Huh?
And sitting in the bathroom, she finds Suzy doll on the toilet with its pants pulled down like it was going to the bathroom.
Honestly?
What the fuck?
Respectful.
What the fuck?
At least it's a respectful ghost.
I
have to go potty, but I'll go potty in the toilet.
It's fucking crazy. Crazy. Another day, all these days, a lot of this stuff is happening. So Jerry was taking a nap yet again because, he works the night shift. And he was awakened by noises coming from the kitchen. He again found the kitchen trashed. But this time he noticed that the chairs were placed on the table by only their front legs. And the two back legs were just hanging midair. And so at this moment, he's kind of like...
It's like doing a bottle flip. No, it's not. I don't know the correlate. That was not what I had.
You're not wrong.
That's not what I had in my head at all.
But at this moment is when he realizes that shit is getting paranormal. He's like, you know what? Maybe someone's not sneaking in. Maybe there's a ghost. And so the next afternoon, Linda, the mom, was home alone. She was getting ready to have some lunch, doing her thing, having some alone time. She moved Suzy doll from the couch into the rocking chair that we've already talked about. And a sound catches her attention from the hallway. So she pokes her head down the hallway. And she sees a single marble rolling down the hallway towards her. And she's like, And then she sees a second marble come rolling out of her girl's bedroom. And mind you, she's home alone. And so she's like, oh, fuck no. There's someone in the fucking house. And so she grabs a weapon to defend herself. Which, let me just say, if someone's in my house and they're rolling marbles on the hallway, I would just leave the house. I don't need the house that bad.
Yeah, you can have it.
But she was putting up a fight, so she went to go grab a weapon to investigate. But when she peeked into her girl's room and every other room in the hallway, she found absolutely nothing. So, upon not finding anything, she just returns to the living room and is kind of just like, oh, whatever. And there, in the middle of the living room on the floor, is the two marbles that were just rolling down the hallway. And Suzy doll was gone. Again, she is home alone. So Linda's kind of like, what the fuck? Avi. And so she turns around, and the laundry that she was going to fold after eating lunch is just thrown all throughout the dining room. Just like
I was really hoping you were going to say it was folded. And I was like, wow, I want this ghost. I don't want it anymore.
It's like, what ghost was that was like sweeping piles of dirt? What story was that? It was a few episodes ago.
That's the very first episode. That was the Conjuring episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, not this one. This one's throwing shit. Making a mess. Causing a ruckus.
We just played footsies.
We did, yeah. I hated it.
Oh.
So at this point, Linda and Jerry are both like, oh no, this place is fucking haunted. Like, they're both on the same page at this point. And they needed to just protect themselves and their girls. But like most families, they didn't have the financial ability to just up and move. Obviously, we've talked about this a whole bunch of times. So they decided to stay and fight for their home. So after the realization, obviously, that the house is haunted, Jerry was physically assaulted in his sleep. His arm was burned, and he had 4 deep scratches down his upper arm. Yeah.
Damn.
And actually 2 pieces of the bedpost were thrown at him. All in the same instance. So obviously, Jerry consulted his reverend, Avi, And the Reverend recommended calling a paranormal investigator. And the paranormal investigator was the myth, the woman, the legend, Lorraine Warren. You have nothing to say. We talked about her so many times. Ed and Lorraine Warren.
No shit. I know you're talking.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to.
You're just making a face.
I'm just trying to know if I know the story. I knew it sounded somewhat familiar. I don't know. Anyways, keep going.
So Lorraine, had the family sit at the kitchen table holding hands. Everybody but Heather was at the table. And while they sat there, they heard what sounded like something scraping against the walls around them. And then a cool wind blew straight at all of them. And Heather, who was asleep in a different room, began screaming for them all to get out. So they ran to her room, which I don't know why, because you tell me to get out, I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Is this the Enfield haunting? No, it's not the Enfield haunting. Is it? No. Sorry, keep going.
It takes place in West Haven, Connecticut.
So it's not Enfield hauntings.
At least that's what the website said where I got the information from.
Enfield is in UK. Just getting similar-ish.
So they ran to her room. Couldn't be me, though. I would leave. And she began swearing at them and speaking in a voice that wasn't hers. Lorraine, at this point, obviously was like, we need an exorcist up in this bitch. So Father McKenna and another priest then came into the home, and he placed everyone in separate areas of the room that they were in and told them to turn around and face the walls and not look at what was going on. So Father McKenna started a ritual, and they all heard scraping and growling. The entity blew all around the room and even through the closed windows of the room. And after they finished the ritual, the growling finally stopped. So it went fucking kind of crazy, hurricane vibes for a second, and then it stopped. And so Linda made what we like to call an executive decision. And she threw Suzy doll the fucking trash. Letting the garbage truck take the doll away for good. Even though they got rid of the spirit, they were like, fuck this doll. She's out of here.
And this doll was made by their grandmother, right?
Her aunt.
Her aunt. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
And so I think one thing that could be learned from this story is to never own a doll. These motherfuckers are so creepy, and it's just not fucking worth it. And that are both my stories today about creepy fucking dolls.
Do we think her aunt cursed the doll?
Well, that's what I was thinking when I was doing the story, but then I remembered that they got the doll, right, for her birthday, and then, like, that night, there was an entity coming down the street. So I don't know if it was attracted to the doll or what happened, but it wasn't in the doll when she first got it, but it went into it that night.
Something about the doll attracted the...
So I don't know, yeah.
So there must have been something that...
Yeah, I don't know, because you never hear about her aunt.
that doll.
You never hear about her aunt again, so...
They cut that bitch off. They said, fuck you and your gifts.
It ain't nothing to cut that bitch off. Snip, snip, ho. Have you heard that? You haven't heard that?
No.
Well, just know that it ain't nothing to cut that bitch off. Snip, snip, ho.
Anyways, I'm really glad that was Ed and Lorraine. Well, more Lorraine.
More Lorraine,
Ed,
yeah.
But
she's that bitch.
we love them.
I guess.
I love them.
Okay.
Wow. Even though there are a lot of skeptics about them.
I love that you're a skeptic and you love them.
I just love their whole thing.
He's a certified demonology boy, you know?
Yeah. They were,
Speaking of merch.
They influenced my favorite movie.
Speaking of merch, we're going to have merch that says certified demonology boy.
Yes.
We are 100%.
And I'm putting that on my car.
TM.
TM.
Love that.
Check
Okay.
mark.
Anyway.
TM.
That's my story. I'm done. I hope you loved it.
I did.
I hate dolls so much.
Thanks for sharing. Me too. I hate it. I've mentioned this before, but when I go to like the haunted houses and stuff, you know, the things you make fun of me for going to, which I understand. If they ever have like a doll room with like dolls hanging from the ceiling or whatever, I just won't go for it. I just don't want to go through it ever.
Let me tell you, I have so many doll wrecks from Nor in the email. I don't know if you saw the email that Nora sent, where it's like Breana's doll collection, and then in all caps it's like, don't look, Paul, because it was like, I need more dolls to fill the story, because obviously the island was really short. And there was a bunch of them in there, and this was the least creepiest of them, because I was trying to not make myself like want to vomit. So
they're so bad. I
fucking hate dolls.
Sam, you still need to watch. I really wish you like horror movies to the point where you would watch Dead Silence.
Is that the one with the puppet?
Yeah.
So crazy. I've actually seen that movie before, the like original one. That is why I don't like dolls.
Me too.
I watched it at such a young age. Same thing with like It.
So like, we are trauma bonding.
In that movie,
It. I don't think It I watched.
No, I watched It at such a young age, and I like clowns make me like very uncomfortable. Like, I think that's why I don't like mascots either. Like I can't really go to Disney World because those mascot things make me uncomfortable.
Really?
The characters walking around. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Interesting.
I don't know why, but they make me clowns and like things like that make me so uncomfortable.
See, it's funny. That's one of my least favorite things about going to Disney is like the character meet and greets, because I am one of those logical people where I'm like, I know there's just another person behind that mask, and it's just
creepy.
To me, I'm not going up to meet the character. I'm going up to meet the person that's behind the mask, and I'm just like, there's
so fucking weird. Yeah.
I have no interest in that. I was like, I don't like.
That's why Disney adults to me are weird, because I get it for kids, obviously, because kids don't have that train of thought.
Yeah.
But like as adults, like you know that there's someone in there, like you know that's not the actual
so when
thing.
it comes to like the characters and stuff, I don't care anything about them. But when it comes to like the ride and like the overall atmosphere, that's what I really like about it. And that's why I go a lot, and that's why I like it. But you won't catch me like running up to a character and be like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's
maybe Princess Ariel, because hey boo. But other than that, can't be bothered.
Speaking of Ariel, so I started getting really heavy into, we were just talking about it earlier, Dreamlight Valley, the Disney game.
Yeah.
And so Ghost Minnie just is walking around, and I'm like, hello, and like no one sees this ghost walking around. And so I was on the beach, because I finally unlocked the beach the other day, because I've real life, I'm like at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
And I'm on the beach, and I'm like doing something, and I look up, and I just see Ariel's head like bobbing in the water, and I run up to her, and then she just disappears, because I haven't unlocked her yet. But I was just like, hello?
Come back.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? That was crazy. Anyway, yeah.
Good game. I haven't played it in so long.
Dude,
I binged that for a while.
I've been binging it for the past like 3 days. Like I at all of my free time, like I bring it. I was gonna bring my Switch here today to play it in the free time, and I was like, calm down.
The quest just got too
annoying
involved.
and time consuming. Yeah.
Just like, oh, collect 2,000 of this one material. I'm like, I can't be bothered to do that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of the point that I'm getting at. I'm just like more focused on like unlocking like the thorns and shit. And it's like, hey, I have like 3 quests that I can't complete because I had to unlock like the swamp, I think it was, whatever is right next to the beach. So I unlocked like the forest where Kristoff is, and then like I'm unlocked the swamp before I came here today, and I'm just like, now what? But yeah, I've been fiending that game like it's nobody's business.
Yeah,
anyway.
I like to play those type of games
like
towards the beginning to like the middle, because the quests are just easier and it's just really quick to build stuff. But then you start getting into the tedious ones. I'm like, there's the reward for the amount of mental anguish I'm going to put myself through to collect 200 fucking pieces of ore. Like I can't be bothered. When they respawn like once every 3 hours, I just no.
That was pissed me off last night. I was trying to find an emerald, and you can only get emeralds on the rocks that are in the forest. And there's only 3 rocks in the forest, at least that I could find. And so I was breaking them, and like I swear to God, I broke one, an emerald popped out. I was like, word. I was expecting like maybe like the 5th one I broke. No, I swear to God, I waited like an hour, and I was just like running around. I finally got a second one, and I was like, That's
exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna blow up this building.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna commit arson.
Yeah.
Vehicular manslaughter is gonna.
And then I know there's, because I saw a lot of talk about it when it first came out, there's you'll eventually unlock Minnie, and there's like a terrible fucking mini quest where she has you collected a stupid amount of clay or something, and people are just like, this is the worst thing ever. And I know.
Nora plays it a lot too, and so I was talking to Nora about it, and I was like asking them questions, and they were like, I don't want to spoil the game for you. I was like, I promise you I'm probably going to stop playing before I beat the game, so just tell me. And so I found out like who the old ruler is that they like reference and all that kind of stuff, and I figured like I know all the stuff that happens, and I'm just like, now that I know what happens, it makes sense. Do you know?
No.
Okay, I'm not going to say on the pod because I don't want to ruin it for everybody else.
Yeah, it's okay.
Maybe I'll tell you after if you want to know.
Maybe.
Because Nora,
I might play it again.
Nora's played it and like beat it a few times and then just like restarted.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn. Could be me. I barely even beat it.
Nora is a hashtag gamer person. Anyway, your turn.
I'll maybe beat it one time, but it's my turn. No more.
The floor is yours, my dear.
Dreamlight Valley.
I can talk about Stardew Valley.
No.
Okay.
We're gonna go to my story.
I love Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
Anyways,
so for my story today.
Oh, I hate when you talk like that. It makes me really anxious.
I have a trigger warning.
Oh, God.
Oh, gosh. This story is going to feature talks of torture and sexual assault / rape. So, as always, please take care of yourself. If those things are triggering, it's going to get pretty fast. So, if so, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Can I just say, Sometimes I really hate having a true crime podcast.
Why?
I just hate talking about shit like this sometimes. It's just...
Yeah, it's pretty...
Sometimes it's really bad.
It's pretty oof.
Yeah. See you for episode 15.
If that's not your thing, just go off now. Follow us on our socials. You know that whole bit. And we'll see you next week. Hope you enjoyed Breana's story at least. Sorry you can't enjoy mine.
Love you. Don't be a douchebag.
Love you. Kiss, kiss. Mwah, mwah. Anyways, if you're here for the long run, hi, how are ya?
Hi, how are you?
Welcome to our channel.
$20 for anybody right now that wants to take my spot on this podcast.
Me.
Just for that. Oh, yeah, you'd be a one-man show? Okay.
Yeah, I would sit here, I'd talk, and then I'd go to the other mic and just pretend like I'm two personalities.
The fact that you'd go to the other mic and you wouldn't just talk into one mic.
No. It's all like getting into character.
Are you mentally ill? What's wrong with you?
Why do you think I have a therapy appointment?
It's mental illness, darling.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm mentally ill.
A floating shopping list.
I've come for your pickles. That's Paul's favorite SpongeBob reference. Oh, stop laughing like that.
And that's how you get a nickel. Flashback to the beginning of this episode. Anyways. Hitchhiking. This is something we've all heard of, I'm sure. It's been around for as long as I can remember, and is something that can even still be found today. I mean, not as prevalent, but... A typically free means of transportation that is gained by simply asking individuals, usually strangers, for a ride in their car or whatever vehicle they're in. This is something you usually see depicted by people on the side of the road, thumbs up in the air, looking at passing cars and just hoping eventually one of those cars will stop and let you hop in. Whether they're going directly to your destination or somewhere around, any sort of help to your destination is, always appreciated. That way you don't have to walk all that way. That is, until your free ride turns into a 7-year hellish endeavor that will unfortunately change your life forever. For today's true crime story, I'm here to fill you in on the kidnapping of Colleen Stan.
Do we stan Colleen?
Yeah. And for what it's worth, like Breana, this is also from our unpaid intern, Nor's recommendation sheet. So thank you for that.
This is a Norse sponsored episode.
Legitimately, yes. I'm pretty sure this is also one that I said, I claim this, don't take it. So you probably already... One, most likely heard it already, and two, already had an inkling I was going to do it anyways.
Yeah, so I have this really weird thing, since I know so much true crime stuff, is I really try to do stories that I don't really know that much about, that I obviously know of, because I have a lot of true crime knowledge just from, like, the content I listen to. But I try really hard to not do stories that I already know. So I already know this one. That's why I didn't pick it off the list, but I'm excited to hear you tell it.
Do you know, like, every single detail? Or
I don't.
You just know, like, a broad...
I know a good amount of stuff about this case.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, but I'm excited to hear your take on it.
That way, if there's any missing pieces that you know of, you can always add to it. So for y'all that don't know, Colleen Stan, born December 31st, 1956.
That's Q1's birthday.
And also New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Happy New Year.
Happy birthday. Was
an avid hitchhiker. Hitchhiking was typically her preferred method for getting around and really became almost an expert at the craft.
Can I just say... Okay. Hitchhiking is so scary.
I would never do it.
I would never either.
I don't care how desperate I am.
I don't care.
Do it.
Yeah, I don't care. Because, like, I just can't. So many things happen to hitchhikers.
The only way I would potentially... No, I wouldn't even hitchhike if I was just, like, in a,
and it's even
bed
like,
of a truck.
People do hitchhiking, and they're like, oh, I'll only get in people's cars that look normal. But it's like, those are the people you have to watch out for.
That was what she did.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I think about, like... sorry, I keep interrupting you, but, like... Jeffrey Dahmer, how like one of his first victims was a hitchhiker, and then it's like there's another case where some guy was a hitchhiker, and he's actually like he wanted to be part of the police force, and he was like people knew him because he was friends with the police, and his like mom worked at the local university, and he was just like picking up hitchhiking college students and killing them.
Yep.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's a crazy girl.
Couldn't be me. Especially around this time, hitchhiking wasn't unheard of and really was seen all over the place, so nothing really unseen or unheard of. Being 20 years old at the time, in May of 1977, Colleen was doing what she was used to doing in hitchhiking, specifically from her hometown of Eugene, Oregon this time around. On this gorgeous day in May, I I rhymed and didn't mean to. That's funny. Colleen was trying to find the next best ride, and at this point had already turned down 2 potential ride offers to continue her trip after making it into California. However, the next offer would be a blue van that would pull over in Red Bluff, California, and offer a ride. When the van pulled over, Colleen saw a man driving the van, a woman who she presumed to be his wife, in the passenger seat, and a baby in the back seat. This gave Colleen the picture that this was a normal, run-of-the-mill young couple, and that really broke down any walls of hesitation that she had. I mean, you see a car coming at you, there's a man, woman, child, nothing go wrong, they're a family, they'll be fine. She accepted the ride offer from this family and hopped into the van, unknowing that this would be the beginning of how she turned out to be the internationally recognized as the girl in the box.
Dun, dun, dun.
In the van that picked up Colleen was a 23-year-old named Cameron Hooker and his 19-year-old wife, Janice Hooker.
There were hookers.
They were
the
two
hookers. Hooker. Say it again.
Hooker? I barely know her.
Hooker? I barely know her. I'm sorry.
As it would later turn out, the couple was actively on the roads looking for a hitchhiker that they could easily kidnap. At the time, Cameron was...
Wait. I just made a connection. It's kind of crazy that they're named the hookers and they're basically going to be hooking a girl.
Right.
Sorry.
Coinkydink.
I know.
Go
ahead.
At the time, Cameron was a lumber mill worker and had an intense... I wrote bandage, and I meant to write bondage.
I have an intense bandage fetish.
I have an intense bandage fetish. Johnson & Johnson only.
Give me the Band-Aid brand. That's my fetish.
I only want the bandages with the pandas on them.
If it's not Band-Aid brand, I don't want it. Why are there
They need to be the ouch-free ones, too.
Why are there name brand Band-Aids, honestly? Because they're just the same thing. There's nothing special about name brand Band-Aids.
Well, the brand name is Band-Aid.
Yeah.
They're bandages. Yeah. So that's why the brand name is Band-Aid, because now everyone...
Oh, is that like Kleenex? How people do that? Like, when you have a tissue, now you think about, like, oh, I'm going to grab a Kleenex, but it's, like, a different brand.
Yeah. Instead of asking for a tissue, you're asking for
Same
a
thing with, like, Velcro.
Yeah.
Velcro actually is...
That actually blew my mind.
Yeah.
That Velcro was a brand name.
This is now a conspiracy.
Yeah. We're just... fuck this. We're going conspiracy. At the time, Cameron was a lumber mill worker and had an intense bondage fantasy, or kink, if you will.
If you will.
Up until they kidnapped Colleen, Cameron was using his wife, Janice, to fulfill these bondage fantasies that he had.
It's funny. I'm sorry. I keep interrupting you because the story is really dark and I just want to make, like, some light while I can. That's what you're supposed to do when you have a fetish. You're supposed to do it with your partner, not
a random woman from the street.
I love that you're moving that like it's not good.
Shut up, Giuseppe.
Shut up, mozzarella. Gotta laugh while we can, folks. It's gonna get bad.
It's the bandage kink for me.
Bandage kink.
Not to... What? Shut up. Mozzarella. Not too long after Colleen had gotten into the van, Cameron steered the van right off the road into a remote area, followed by briefly stopping the van, holding a knife to Colleen's neck, and forcing her into a head box that weighed 20 pounds. For context, this box would truly be a box that went over her head, confined to her head, and completely blocked out any sound and light around her, while also preventing any flow of fresh air. So this girl is just recycling her own breath. And
wouldn't
honestly,
that make you pass out?
That stresses me out.
Wouldn't that make you pass out? Because you're breathing in oxygen.
I mean, eventually, the carbon dioxide.
Whichever one you breathe out, I'm pretty sure if you breathe in too much of it, it can make you pass out. That's why the plants take it in.
Right.
Well, that's not why they take it in, but
right.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying. So, soon after, the van would get back on the road and make its way towards a house, with Colleen now completely unaware of what's happening or where she's going. Once they arrived at the house, Colleen would be taken from the van and brought into the house, being led down to a cellar and immediately subjected to various forms of horrifying torture. Colleen was tied to the ceiling by her wrist and then beaten, electrocuted, whipped, and burned. At the start, Janice and Cameron had agreed that Colleen would not be part of any sexual acts, and instead, she would be forced to watch the couple have sex following the abuse they laid on her. So this poor fucking girl is taken astray, taken kidnapped, hung to the ceiling, tortured, and then it's just like, you can watch us just have sex now.
You see, I don't know if that's a bad thing, though, because, I mean, obviously, eventually, it does change, but I feel like it's better to just not have to be violated like that. I mean, I know she's being violated, but you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're trying to say. Like, instead of it being on her, she's just being forced to watch it, which, I mean, in that scenario, I would obviously take that route, too, but...
I'm not saying any of it's good.
It's still just the fact of they're just like, yeah, we're gonna torture the fuck out of you, and then also you can just watch us go to town on each other. Like,
yeah,
what?
I would much rather not have him go to... And in your phrase, go to town on me. No, that just fucking... and there's no good scenario in that, but I feel like, yeah.
So, however, as time went on, as we kind of already touched upon, this agreement between the couple would end up changing. Cameron would soon start incorporating rape into his various forms of torture he was enacting on Colleen. Soon, the family would move out of the house and cellar and into a mobile home. With the space constraints of a mobile home compared to a house, and any lack of a cellar that they had before, Colleen would now be placed into a coffin-like wooden box and be kept stashed underneath the couple's bed for 23 hours a day.
That's like solitary confinement in jail.
Yes. What's even worse, the couple had 2 young daughters who had no idea that Colleen was being kept against her will or was even being kept in the house. Now, you know how I mentioned she was kept in the box for 23 hours? Mm-hmm. Well, the hour or two that she was let out of the box, Colleen was forced to clean and babysit the children.
So they just thought that this was just like a babysitter who just came in and then like she left after?
So children had no idea she was in the house. She was being forced against. She just thought this was the run-of-the-mill babysitter. Oh, Colleen's here. She's here to babysit us. Not knowing she's quite literally in their house 24/7. Hidden under their parents' bed.
That is so weird.
As Colleen stated, quote, anytime I was taken out of the box, I never knew what to expect. Fear of the unknown was always with me, as I was kept in the dark, both physically and mentally, unquote. If all this already wasn't enough, or sounded like it couldn't get worse, Colleen states that these regular beatings and rapes? Regardless, weren't even what she considered to be the worst aspect of her kidnapping and confinement. What truly terrified Colleen was the claim that Cameron, her captor, that he was a member of a satanic organization called The Company. He claimed that the company was a powerful organization and was watching over her and her family, even as far as saying they had her family's home bugged.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
So, before finding out about this case, because obviously I know this case, I love Criminal Minds, right? Mm-hmm. There's like a whole storyline in Criminal Minds that's like loosely based off of this story, where like there actually is like some guy kidnaps a woman and like is in like this thing called like loosely called The Company, and it like basically plays the storyline out of like if it was real, of like if these people actually had like people's kids and like were forcing these women to be part of this like sex cult, and like as they had their kids kidnapped with them, and it was crazy. And then I heard about this case and I was like, oh, that's definitely where they got it from, because obviously they take inspiration from real crimes.
Now I kind of want to watch that. You said Criminal Minds?
Yeah, it's like numerous episodes. It's like I think it is Criminal Minds, yeah, because I don't think it's Law and Order. I think it's like more because like, you know, Law and Order is obviously like in the city, so I think it's more like intense. So I think it is Criminal Minds. I'll figure out the episodes and I'll send them to you later.
Word. Yeah, because I want to watch that. That would be interesting.
It's very
Especially
good.
now that I know this case.
It's very good. Criminal Minds is so fucking good.
Can confirm. I was an NCIS boy, too.
I love it. I love all those shows. I don't like the original Law & Order. I only like a Law & Order SVU. I think just because like the original Law & Order looks very old. I don't like how old it looks.
Fair enough.
But I like all those shows. As you can tell.
Yeah. What gives that away? This is what made Colleen basically frozen in place. The fact that her family's home is bugged and he's part of this organization. Just kind of recap since we talked about Criminal Minds for a minute. So family's home being bugged and everything is what really kept her frozen in place and made her never really want to try to escape. Because obviously she was let out of the box. If she escaped, essentially free will at that point, to a sense.
Yeah, they would have just found her. And in her mind, at least.
Right. She feared that an escape attempt would cause the company to harm her family, and that was the last thing she would want. This is ultimately what led Colleen to stay in captivity for so long, even going as far as signing a contract in January of 1978 that stated she was a slave for the family for life.
I hate that.
However, Colleen would go on and comply with most of what Cameron and the family asked and wished, and this in turn gave her more and more freedom from the box. Colleen would soon be allowed to work in the garden, go for jogs, care for the family, or even allowed to visit her own family.
That's the part of this case that pisses me off the most, and that's why I'm not talking.
Figured. With Cameron accompanying her under the guise that he was just her boyfriend.
I fucking hate that. I fucking hate that. It makes me so angry.
The fear Cameron instilled in Colleen about this so-called organization, the company, truly paralyzed her and kept her from any escape attempts or revealing any sort of information to her family, even with such an easy way to get away, like being in the hands of her own family and friends.
It makes me so mad because, like, you're probably going to get into it, but just the fact that, like, he's like, yeah, you can go. You just have to come back. And she just does it. It makes me so upset because, like, Stockholm Syndrome, not Stockholm Syndrome, but like Stockholm Syndrome in a sense where she like trusts him enough to think that he's telling the truth. Obviously, like, it's not a fuck around and find out kind of scenario.
No, no,
but like, it's just
like your family's in danger. You're just like, yeah, I'll listen.
It makes me so upset. I can't even like pinpoint the exact emotion it puts on me, so I'll just say upset. As Lauren would say, that's a secondary emotion. What's the first emotion? But we'll just say upset.
All right, upset work. Colleen's family at this time noticed a lack of communication. Obviously, 23 hours in a box.
It's not like he gave her a fucking cell phone.
Exactly. But between that and her money, made them believe she was in a cult. Which, while a cult is in the mix in this situation, it obviously wasn't in the sense of what they were thinking. However, the family did not want to push her away or pressure her, so in attempts to not scare her away and disappear for good, they simply did just not push the subject or intervene.
It's so crazy that cults were just a thing then. Like, it was just so, like, now if someone joined a cult, you'd be like, no.
Right, but back then you're just like, okay, well, we don't want to lose you, so you do what you do and we'll do what we do.
So fucking crazy.
So for 7 years, Colleen would be held captive by Cameron and Janice from 1977 to 1984. As time grew closer to the 7-year mark, Cameron would tell Janice that he wanted Colleen to become his second wife, essentially making the couple a throuple.
What is that called?
Throuple.
No, thank you. What religion
Polyamorous?
is that? Yeah.
Wait,
like
religion?
I'm thinking of like the Sister Wives show.
I have no idea.
Anyway,
I know it's polyamorous? Polygamy.
I really hope that picked up. Thank you.
Well, as probably could be expected, Janice didn't want any sexual acts to happen in the beginning, so how would we expect her to react here, you know? All right, by not being happy with the idea and absolutely turning 180 degrees and becoming the good person, of course. So after Cameron confessed this thought to Janice, she would go on to tell Colleen that Cameron had tortured and brainwashed her since they first started dating, and due to this, she had developed denial techniques, compartmentalized that aspect of her life. Essentially, separating feelings, and anytime she would start thinking bad about Cameron and letting those thoughts overtake, she would focus on the love feelings she built towards him. So, compartmentalizing is essentially like blocking. Mm-hmm. So you have like a block for your love, you have a block for, you know, your denial. And she could
it's basically just a way to work through traumatic experiences.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I get that. I really do. But it still makes me so fucking mad. And I can't blame her because obviously she went through some shit. But like, it makes me so fucking angry. Mm-hmm. This whole case makes me angry. That's why I never wanted to cover it.
Fair enough. Once Janice hit this turning point in the situation, she continued to reveal that Cameron was not actually part of the company. And Janice would go on to help Colleen get to safety and escape.
You know what I'm curious about? And I just realized it. I don't know if it's ever mentioned in the story or if you mention it. But did he come up with that by himself or did he get that from somewhere else?
That I did not see anything.
Yeah,
I assume he just came up with it himself.
Yeah, I just thought about
as
that.
Like a fair tactic.
Yeah.
Janice even went as far as telling Colleen once she escaped not to say anything about this to anyone, as Janice thought Cameron could be rehabilitated.
See, that's what I hate, because she's like, oh, I'll go through all this, and like I'm also traumatized just as much as you are, but like when you escape, don't turn him in.
Don't tell anyone. We can change him.
Yeah, like we've only tortured you for 7 years.
Yeah, he can be
We've only ruined your fucking life.
Right.
But like, whatever. Don't tell. Don't snitch.
Right.
Don't dry snitch like that.
Yeah, no, we're gonna fix him.
Yeah.
However, once Janice realized that couldn't actually happen because he can't be fixed, and Cameron was unsavable, she went on to report him to the police.
As she should.
Following Janice's confession and report to police, Cameron Hooker would be charged with sexual assault and kidnapping using a knife.
I forgot what their last name was. I was like, why did you just say
At Cameron's trial, Janice would proceed to testify against him for full immunity, and Colleen's experience would go on to be described as unparalleled in FBI history.
See, the whole immunity thing is what makes me like, because I'm like, does she deserve it? Or, you know what I'm saying?
That kind of wraps back to the Candyman story we talked about all the way back when.
I know.
And it's similar situations ish where they're brainwashed and just kind of forced into this. So it's like, do they know enough? Like, I'd still be mad at them, but I don't know if I'd really hold them.
I know. I feel like she should have she should have got some kind of punishment. Because obviously she was, I'm not saying you need to like blame the victims. That's not all I'm saying. I'm just saying that I feel like she should have gotten some kind of something for it. Like, I feel like she shouldn't have gotten completely off on it.
I get that.
Especially for the, like, I understand about, like, obviously, like, her being tortured herself and going through it, but especially for the point of her being like, but don't tell anybody. Because that's you knowing that it was wrong. Yeah. That's you taking accountability for it being wrong. And it's like, but you still got off. I mean, I guess it's okay because he got put away for it, but like, you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're trying to say. You don't have to convince me.
Yeah, the whole conversation is like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Eventually, Cameron would be found guilty and given consecutive terms, totaling a whopping 104-year sentence when all said and done. Now, for a little bit of context, this is a consecutive term is opposite of a concurrent sentence where all sentences would
I was like, what is he saying?
Don't even care. Fast forward to 2015, Cameron would be denied parole, and now it will be a minimum of 15 more years before he can be eligible for parole again. So in 2030.
Yeah, but he's not going to get out. He's going to be dead before that.
Yeah, easy. As a result of her capture, Colleen would suffer chronic back and shoulder pain, which I'm surprised that's all she.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
like physically from that. And once she returned home, would receive extensive therapy, but eventually would marry and have a child of her own. Additionally, she would go on to join an organization committed to helping abused women and also earned a degree in accounting. So while those were the worst 7 years anyone could ever go through or imagine going through, Colleen managed to take her life back and set herself up for a successful future.
As she should.
In regard to her resilience, Colleen would tell reporters, quote, "I learned I could go anywhere in my mind." And I mean, that's also similar to Janice's compartmentalization. Mm-hmm. And then also stated, quote, "You just remove yourself from the real situation going on and you go somewhere else," end quote.
That is disassociating.
And that, my friends, is why you'll never catch me hitchhiking.
What you just described was disassociation.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure. Just throwing a label on it. Me too. There's a lot of reasons of why I wouldn't hitchhike, but that is one of them. The top.
Tippy top.
Tippy top. I don't know what just happened.
Breana's internal record just skipped. Tippy top.
She went boom, boom, boom.
With the resetter, turn her off and on again.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And a boom, 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 boom. Anywho,
yeah.
Those are our great stories for today. This was a great episode.
Really hated that. I hated everything about that.
How did you feel about the episode? What was your high? What was your low?
My low was definitely your whole story. It made me very angry. It made me very angry. High point was definitely oof. That was the high.
My low is right now. My high was when we first started, and
and you were just fucking cutting me off for 5 seconds. You didn't want to fucking. Actually, that was my low. Was you doing that?
Hey, you can't take it back.
Hey.
Anyways, that's all I have. I got nothing else.
I just realized we're at the end of the episode, and you never talked about your vacation. Next episode.
We can talk about my vacation next episode.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's too late.
Fast as fuck, boy. I don't think you know how fast I really am. I am speed.
Anyways, so you can find our podcast.
Okay.
Anyways, follow our podcast. Oh, no, I actually... What the fuck?
You literally have a script.
I know. I like going
You're just
raw.
staring off into space. I know.
So you can follow us on our socials on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Isn't That Odd Pod. Facebook is actually
I was
Isn't That
gonna say.
Odd Podcast.
Yeah, I was just going to say
But the other two Isn't That Odd Pod. I mean, realistically, you'll find it either way.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
search us. You'll
Yep,
find
yep.
us. We'll come up. And then if you have any stories you want us to talk about specifically, we have a Google Doc in our Instagram bio on our link tree. It's link
Tree.
tr.ee/isnthtatoddpod.
Oh, I didn't
It's
know
like
what you were
tree,
doing.
but space out there.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
On our link tree, we have a Google Doc that you can input any ideas for a paranormal, true crime, or conspiracy case that we haven't talked about yet and you want us to talk about.
Yeah.
And
if you
we
have
might
any-
just talk about it on a future episode.
If you have any questions, comments, concerns, funny things you want to tell us, mean things you want to tell us, personal stories you want to tell us,
You want to tell me I'm pretty?
tell us. You can
Tell us.
email us at isnthtatoddpod@gmail.com.
Tell us.
Tell us.
Tell us.
Tell
Us.
us. Tell us.
Yeah. And then obviously find our podcast on anywhere you get your podcasts, like where you're listening to us right now.
Why didn't you start with that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Whether that's Spotify, Apple Music.
Grinder.
Huh? No, we actually got pulled off a Grinder.
Sorry?
I don't know. I was trying to make drama.
Oh.
So Spotify, Apple Music,
Drama.
iHeartRadio, all the big boy platforms, Google Podcasts.
We're also on the little boy platforms too.
Yeah, there's a lot
Like,
of little
like
boy
you said,
platforms that
Paul,
we got.
size doesn't matter.
Size doesn't matter. It's the motion in the ocean, baby. So with that, we'll see you next.
Yeah, bye. Don't be a douchebag.
I'm out of here.
Bye.